Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 12 of Tennoview. Today's guest is someone I really look up to and have been looking forward to having on this show. And he finally sent me the email. So we're going to get to talk to Mr. Kaoiji today. He's a Warframe Partner broadcaster. Awesome dude. Really, really fun to hang out with. And we're going to go ahead and switch on over and get him in here. Welcome in, Mr. Kaoiji. How are you doing?
Hey, what's going on? I'm doing really good, Goku. How about yourself?
I'm fantastic, man. So I have to say I was very happy to get your email. I don't know if you remember what you told me in Discord, but I was like, damn, shit, that sucks. I really wanted to talk to him. And so I never asked you. And getting the email really made my day. So welcome to Tennoview episode 12, man.
Thank you. I remember when I said it, and it was in a very rough time already, and I decided that I was going to start changing the way that I basically lived. So I finally made time to be able to do things like this. So I'm excited as well.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad things are going in a more positive direction for you. So I have my very first question to everybody that we talk to. What drew you to this game we all love?
It's funny because when I first heard about Warframe, there was a founders thing on the PC, and I was like, oh, that looks okay. So I had a pretty terrible PC at the time. I was running on a laptop. And so I gave it a try. I felt like I didn't like it, and then I saw that it was released much later on the PS4. When I tried it again on the PS4, I fell in love because it was something that I actually put some time into. I played, and I had a lot of friends who played with me on that system, so I wasn't playing solo like I did the very first time. So that's what helped me to enjoy the game much more, and seeing the game evolve just made me love it even more. Seeing it day by day change and go from stamina system to Loki start, mag start, and because that's what I remember. Found out today during my cast that wasn't the original start. There was apparently the original start was Loki, Volt, and Excalibur.
Oh,
Mag replaced Volt, and then Volt replaced Loki.
huh.
So it's simple things like that make it worthwhile. Just
Constantly
hanging out and playing. Yeah.
So, about how long have you been playing Warframe? And if I heard that right, you pretty much started on PS4, right?
Yeah, pretty much started on PS4 off and on for about 4 years.
4 years, okay.
Yeah.
And when did you make the jump to PC?
Back in October, I originally came from from a series of games. I started on Paragon, which was one of the first games that I wound up streaming, and then I also played another game called Riders of Icarus. One of my mods, Passeri, he was jokingly saying, you should go play Warframe because he played Warframe as well.
Mm-hmm.
And turns out a lot of the other members of my community at the time also played Warframe, so I just made the jump and never looked back.
Nice, man. So when did you start streaming Warframe? How long after you started playing?
Same day I started playing is the same day that I started streaming.
On PS4? Or on PC?
No, on PC. So it was back in September, back in October, somewhere around that time. I don't exactly remember the actual date, but yeah, sometime in September, October. I actually came over because of one of the other members of the community, Tiger Stripe, raided me randomly one day. We were playing Dead by Daylight, and Tiger Stripe came into my stream, and it was my birthday stream, and he's like, yo, you ever hear of this game called Warframe? And it was around the same time that my mods were telling me about it. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll give it a try. Turns out he was a Warframe partner. He's really chill, dope guy, and he helped me get started on PC. And so that's awesome. As soon as I made the jump to play PC, I started streaming it.
That's amazing. That's awesome that you had that support right off the bat. It's really indicative of this community in my eyes, as far as streaming goes. Did you stream anything before Warframe? You said Paragon. Did you stream that regularly, or was that just every once in a while type of thing?
So me streaming back then was a little bit different from what it is now. I streamed just, like however long I felt like it. If I didn't feel like streaming, I never put myself to a real schedule. So I played Paragon. I played a MMO named Riders of Icarus. My first game that I ever streamed coming back to streaming, because this isn't my first time streaming.
Okay.
Was Grim Dawn and Tomb Raider. So it's been a hell of a long road.
Yeah, so in total, you've been streaming for how long now? What'd you say?
As of right now, it'd be about almost a year and a half. Almost a year and a half is how long I've been streaming.
And which part?
Go
ahead.
What was it?
Sorry.
I was gonna say with a schedule, probably around 6, 7, 8 months. With actually having a legitimate schedule and actually taking some real dedication into streaming.
Okay, that was my question, so perfect. Now, okay, I don't know how to phrase this the right way, but what do you think, what difference did going to that set schedule really make for your streaming and your experience as a streamer? If that makes sense.
That does make sense. And for me, it was a very different transition, and it was something that I needed to cope with. For me, it was more stressful because at the time when I began my schedule, I was working. I was trying to, push as my schedule as hard as possible, but my job wouldn't let me do it. Eventually, when I lost my job, it got a lot easier. I was a lot happier. But still, the keeping on the schedule was the hard part for me because I was also transitioning in between, mental states, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I understand that. Being laid off is always difficult. So at least you got some solace from streaming, right? I would assume that helped you get through that time as you're still going through it, right?
Not so much anymore. Basically, I learned from my mistakes. I had a really good, solid support group. There was Shoal, Slapstick, 70s, Opni. There was a whole bunch of people who basically said, hey, you're an idiot, stop being an idiot. And it took me a while, a very, very long time, to legitimately listen to them. But I think having listened and then putting it into practice was probably where it helped the most, because just hearing it the first time, you're like, oh well, you're just saying that. And once you put it into practice, you kind of are like, all right, maybe never mind, maybe you were right this entire time. Maybe I should have been listening. And
I'm laughing because I am literally going through that same phase in my life right now. I talk to my mod Larry daily. And half the time when I'm worried or complaining about something, he's just like, dude, just shut up. You're fine. You're doing good. Just keep going. And then, that day I go look at something, I'm like, oh, well, shit, he's right. You should have just shut up. So it's really nice to have that support group, man. And I'm glad that you had it. And all those people you listed off are some of my favorite people in this community. What?
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, it hasn't been easy, and I'm sure it hasn't been easy for them dealing with someone like me who's, was an emotional wreck and constantly second guessing himself. But hopefully, with time, I can make them just as proud of them, and make them proud of me just as much as I'm proud of them and what they accomplished.
I have a feeling that they already are pretty proud of you, man. I think you're a lot better than you give yourself credit for, man.
I don't know, I have so many ideas running through my head. I feel like, people look at my stream and wow, the production quality is really on point. And I'm like, have you seen some of the other streams? I have something in the works right now that's gonna blow it out of the water. So
you still have some very unique stuff that's really cool, your animation of the spaceship flying in and the whole Starship Commander thing. It really works, and That was one of the things that kept me in your stream, was just how I was like, wow, this guy has a lot of like pieces to this, and it's really impressive. He puts a lot of work into his stream. So it's not like it's unnoticed. It may not be polished to someone who might be, you know, a pro animator or can afford pro animations, but you've got something really nice there, dude. Like, you should be proud of that, no matter what. I know you're just like striving to be better, but take a moment every once in a while and just like, damn, I do work hard, you know?
It's one of the things that I'm getting used to now is actually keeping, you know, myself positive about it.
And,
You know, saying I actually accomplished something and I am working hard. And it may take some time, but that hard work won't go unnoticed.
yeah, man. Absolutely. Keep that up. Keep that shit up. That's the shit I do like. Now, about Warframe, let's get back to the game that we all like. What keeps you playing? You played for 4 years. Like, what keeps this game interesting for you?
Honestly, that's one of the hardest questions to answer, because in the 4 years it was more on and off. So that I would play Warframe originally on the PS4 in between, you know, games that I were more excited about.
Okay.
What keeps me playing now is the community. You know, there is a large group of people who legitimately care about the game, and being a part of that is amazing. You know, I get to have debates on who's got the best, you know, best Warframe booty. Like, you know, those are conversations you can't get anywhere else, you know.
Yeah, that's for sure. And it always seems to be a topic too, no matter what day it is. Someone's got to mention the booty. I'm partial to the mag booty. I know people, not a lot of fans, but definitely big fan of the mag booty.
I don't know, man. Saren's got best booty. Let's be serious. I mean, yeah, there's Ember, but I don't know, man.
Saren's got them curves, though. We'll give you that. And so, as far as streaming Warframe and just streaming in general, what's your favorite part about it? Like, what keeps you streaming? And you can't say community again. You already used that answer.
Honestly, it's there was something that it happened that somebody else had mentioned at some point, and that was Total Biscuit, which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with. And it was create something that you can't find on, let's say, like television. You know, this is something that you create. This is your show. This is what you've always wanted to dream and accomplish. That if you go on YouTube right now, you can't find that content.
And that's what keeps you going. You like that challenge, huh?
Yeah. Honestly, the best thing is I'm creating what I want to watch, you know, which is why I'm so hard on myself, because I have the mentality where this is something that if I wake up in the morning and I'm, you know, and let's say I wanted to just throw up a vodcast,
Yeah.
would I be happy watching myself? And that is the kind of content that you would want to create. And the challenge of getting there, you know, it's stressful, but that's the part that makes it the most enjoyable. You know, yeah, I meet new people. I get to talk to hundreds and hundreds of people around the world at any given moment. You know, I get to be a part of something bigger than just me. It's amazing. But what keeps me streaming is the potential that maybe one day I can get to the point where I'm finally happy with what I'm creating. And that's something that keeps me going. No matter how stressful it gets, that's the biggest part behind it.
That is some inspirational shit right there. I'm not even gonna lie. That is some great advice, even though it's just your opinion and your feeling and your drive. That is great advice for up and coming streamers to listen to. If they're listening right now. You want to make your stream better. Have that mentality. Think about that every day before you stream. or when you're working on it. And I myself, I needed to hear that. That's great. I'm gonna come back and listen to this often. So that is an awesome thing to hear, man, and a very unique response, and damn, from the heart. I love it. And yeah, go ahead. Floor's yours.
Streaming, much like life, is everything that you've come together, the good and the bad. There are streamers that are out there who they're like, oh well, I'm just gonna create a new account because I've made a quote unquote bad name for myself, or I'm going to change my name and hopefully the name change will attract more people. But it's building something based on what you have. Like there was a story that somebody told me, Rick told me, sorry, I can't speak.
Words are hard. It's cool.
More recently, and it was, would you rather be the person who gave up on a bad note, or would you rather overcome that and be the inspiration that says you were this terrible human being but you got better? Would you rather the first or the second? And it's a no-brainer. You would always want to be the terrible human being that got better and became an inspiration.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So on that same flip side, of that same coin, what's your least favorite part about streaming?
I have a lot. It's the amount of people that think that you're just playing a video game. I think that has to be my biggest pet peeve behind streaming. It's because you're not just playing a video game. It's difficult, keeping 170, 20 people entertained enough to make them want to stay. That's hard. Make them want to come back the next day. That's hard. And there are way too many people who kind of overlook that, and they're like, yeah, but just go ahead and do it. I can't. I'm sorry.
No, I know exactly what you mean. Like, I deal with that with my parents when I talk about streaming, and they're like, you're just playing video games. I'm like, yeah, it's more than that. But I let them think what they want to think and just go about my business the way it is. So other than that, what's another one? You said you had a few. Let's get another one. One more.
I guess the other thing is that whenever you have an idea, whether it be original or not, there are people who are always quick to immediately link you to either the source or say, hey, you're just like X person, except not as, and then there's the comparison. That was something that more recently I had to overcome. That comparison happens to everybody, and no matter who you are, you're going to be compared to somebody else. No matter if you're the most successful person, if you're not the most successful person, it's going to happen. It's just part of the platform. And it is annoying. That's something that you have to take with a grain of salt. And it's something that I can speak from personal experience, especially in the most recent months, where it happens. People are going to say, hey, you're just like X streamer, and you're like, no, but I'm really not. And they're like, yeah, but you are. You do this the exact same way. You know what? I am tired. And then, but you're not as good. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
And it's not great hearing it, but learn what they're saying, because with every negative comment, there's a reason. There's a reason why it's like retail. So for every 5 people, only one of them will be vocal, especially about negative things to say. So for example, if 5 people come into your stream and they're like, oh well, this shit sucks, for the lack of better wording, one person will probably be the most vocal one, and whether they're trolling, whether or not they're being legitimate, that's not something you should ignore. Find out why. I mean, if it's just them trolling, you brush it off your shoulders, you move on. But if it becomes a trend, and this is something that you hear on a day-to-day basis, you can't just ignore it. This is something that could very well be, part of your livelihood.
That makes a lot of sense, man. It's wise advice. I'm glad that you overcame that, man. I remember seeing the tweets, and I wasn't sure what was going on because I had never seen it in my time there, but I know it happens. And one, I'm sorry you had to deal with that, but at the same time, now you're prepared and you can just go on and go forth.
Yeah, I mean, whether or not they know it, the people that helped me, there are ways that it took me a very long time to see what they were saying, but I'll never be able to repay them, because they are now the ones that shaped my entire life, whether it be just on Twitch, but in general. So
yeah, that's awesome, dude. I'm glad that one, good on you for finally coming, listening, if that's what it took. A lot of people don't get that message and they continue on in their ways and continue to struggle and just go down this downward spiral. So, as a human, like, I'm really glad that you found a way, a light, a way out, some strength, because you're one of my favorite streamers. So it makes me sad to see you upset, and it's noticeable. But we all know that it's, with the face cam, that's one of the risks that you run. It's hard to hide emotion. No matter how hard you tried, it's hard. So when you're frustrated, your stream sees it, and I had to learn that one the hard way, and so I don't know. I'm just really happy to see you in a better place and doing well. It makes me happy.
I'm glad to hear it, Goku.
If you could give one piece of advice to a younger streamer, what would it be? Younger meaning in experience-wise.
Let's keep going. Don't stop. Find, maybe it's okay to take risks. Watch other streamers, learn what it is that made them successful. See if it works for you. Maybe you could do it better, or maybe it works just as well. You don't know what you can do until you risk it.
For the biscuit.
Yep. It's the
So-
biggest part of advice is don't give up. You see people with 15,000 viewers, who suddenly they're like, this isn't where I want to be, and they give up. It doesn't matter. It can happen with somebody with 10, 20.
Mm-hmm.
It happens all over the place. It's don't give up. Where do you want to be? If this is what you want to do, you'll get there. You will definitely get there. It's just a matter of when. And are you willing to put in the work to get there in the first place?
Solid. So as far as the Warframe community goes, you said you spread a lot of love and appreciation. Is there anything as a whole from like Twitch that you see around Twitch, or just as a community member, that you would like to see go away, or in a way like change, as far as behaviors or attitudes?
That's a question I've had to think about, and after seeing a lot of the negative, I don't think I have anything now that I would want to see change. I would like, smaller casters to be more vocal in how they feel, but, and see them work together, kind of like how, the top, I guess, does in any directory. The top works with each other, but work with people around your level. Don't just try to skip to the top, because I see a lot of people who they'll network with the top streamers, and that's great, but they forget that there are people around them in their, I guess, size that also want to work with them, because you have to work with people, that's unfortunately without too many words saying that it's mutually beneficial.
Oh, absolutely. you work together, grow together. I understand absolutely all about that, and I see it, you know, and I agree with you, and I feel like that's really good advice for people too, as well as a younger streamer. Don't ask for help as far as hosts and raids or shout outs. If you want to ask how to improve your stream, you can approach a streamer one-on-one. I'm most likely 90% are going to be like, yeah, sure, I'll check out your stream and give you some pointers or something. You know, or if you have streaming advice on how to use OBS or anything like that. That's something you can ask any streamer, but if you just straight up ask for follows or like a host or a raid or anything like that, and to me, it signals you're not ready. You don't have the right mentality. You're not, I don't know, you're after the number as opposed to the community, if that makes sense. So, you know, become part of the community. Meet people your size. Stream with them. Grow together. Learn to love this game together. And, you know, the rest will come. You'll meet bigger streamers. They'll become your friends, and then they want to support you. It has nothing to do with being beneficial or anything like that. They just like you. They believe in you, and then they push you. You know?
Yeah, I mean, there have been cases where, you know, obviously you network with the biggest streamer, you become their friend, and they're gonna be like, "Oh shit, well you're an actually dope dude, and I'm gonna help you get up." Like that. There has been cases that's happened. Like, don't get me wrong, it's okay to network with the big streamer, but when you try to work exclusively with the big casters or of any directory, not just Warframe, it kind of comes across as I want to take the high road. Now, again, you know, there are a lot of people who look for partnership, especially on the Twitch platform. The numbers game is a real story. You have to have the numbers. It's true. There may be other ways of getting partnership, but the numbers game is a very, very serious part behind it. But some people become too obsessed with the numbers that they forget that each person, let's say 50,000 people that follow them, each and every single one of them is an individual that potentially liked your content, and if you treated them as a number, they're going to treat you as a number too. You're just another person that they follow on that list. You know, and that's also another way to keep streaming fun, is learn about each person.
Yeah, man, that's absolutely well said. Like, took the words right out of my mouth. That's what it's all about for a lot of people, and I know you, myself, you know, a lot of people in here. It's all about, you know, meeting people, and that's what makes streaming fun for me. Hearing people's stories and why they love Warframe, or why they love this game or that game, or, you know, honestly, I even like hearing why people think things suck. Like, it's just, that's what it's all about, you know?
Yeah.
Is there anything you do personally before you hit that go live button for, like, mentally prepare yourself or get ready for the stream? Please tell me you do something.
I get up out of bed and I wake up.
Where are you?
There are some days, honestly, I am what you call a lazy streamer. It's funny because I do most of my prep work after the stream the day before, so because I know myself. I have this really bad habit of not waking up. So I don't get up out of bed until maybe about an hour, 30 minutes before my stream if I'm late. And then if I don't do that prep work the day before, I'm like, shit. I done messed up.
That's great. I love that. I wake up.
There are some days where, you know, and I'm sure people who've come in at the beginning of the stream, they're like, is this what I'm tuning in? They're like, oh, dude, KO's really lazy today. It's like, I just woke up. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. And then,
that's great.
And then I get hype later on.
Yeah, and then the hype comes.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
It's funny when you when people are like, what do you do to prepare? It's kind of like, you know, I do all my prep work the night before.
Yeah.
You know, I know myself way too well, and you hear it, you're like, I spent about an hour or 2 hours before my stream. Yeah, I used to do that. But now I kind of just wake up because I know that I'm up to 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, I'm not going to wake up in time.
Yeah.
To do all that prep work. So, generally, if we're talking time-wise, it's about, before I go to bed every night, it's about maybe an hour, 2 hours worth of prep work, just setting everything up the way that I want it to be. Maybe looking up something that I had an idea on, and I was like, maybe I can change this in my cast, or, oh, well, I found out this new thing that I could probably do and see what it's all about.
And then in the morning, it's all ready, just ready to go.
Yeah, in the morning, then it's just all ready to go, and I'm set, donezo.
Great, it's awesome. Now, as far as streamers go, who are your biggest influences, or people that you look to as a mentor? You can name 2, if it helps.
As far as mentors are concerned, some of my biggest mentors, just on the Twitch platform as a whole, has been DJ Knight, because he's the one who taught me. Because I used to lurk in the stream a lot. He's the one who taught me just have fun with it. There's a way to be both business professional and having fun. And it's okay to bring, your significant other into your cast as well. I mean, you have people like 70s who've done that more recently, and Shoal and Danny the Demon. They've all done that, but DJ's been doing that longer than anybody. Epic Lala is just as relevant as a person as she is, just by herself. Like, without DJ, she could be her own caster. People know her across the Twitch platform without having to, Epic Lala. Yeah, that's, you already know that that's her, so DJ Knight has been a huge influence on my cast. And, one of the other people that honestly has been a really, really large inspiration, and somebody that I feel like I don't get enough time to talk to, because I felt once I left a series of games that I couldn't talk to them anymore. And that was that was one of my old-time friends. I love Jaylee. She's been streaming on the platform for 4 years. And she has not given up. She has never once decided to give up. And she went from, for 4 years of her entire career, averaging maybe, 20, 30 viewers, to then she went back and, to get what she got done, which was RPing and like Ark and Grand Theft Auto. And now she's almost close to 500 subs, and that she's only been partnered for maybe 5 months. She never gave up.
Yeah, man. That's cool. That's awesome. I'm happy for your friend. I'm assuming she's your friend now after you've been watching her for that long, right?
I mean, we've been friends for a very long time.
Yeah.
But I wish what I mean by that is I wish I could talk to her more. But we're both so busy that it's very difficult.
I know that struggle, my friend. So, someone who's never been to your stream, first time they come into your channel, what can they expect?
I have no idea how to answer that question. There have been times where people have tuned into my stream talking about boobs. There's times where people have come into my stream where I've had a full face on the screen. There are times where people have come to my stream and they're like, yo, this stream is awesome. What do you mean that just happened? Like, what do you like? That's You don't see that. Like people have come in and they're like, what did I just walk into? Yeah, it all depends on what time you come into my stream, because I don't follow a set path. I just go with the flow most of the time.
Dude, I know from experience, like the way you just said it is like, yeah, there's definitely been a few times I've come in and like, what the fuck is going on in here?
I the biggest way that I've tried to come in into my stream is, if you come in for the very first time, you're going to enjoy yourself. And the reason I say that you're going to enjoy yourself is because I'm going to make sure that if you don't like me, if you don't like something I've said, you can talk to me. And you can say, hey, dude, maybe you didn't mean to say this, but I will make sure that whatever it is that's bothered you personally is either explained, or the community can make up for that. Because my community is people from all walks of life. There are people in my community now who come specifically to troll me, and now they are some of my greatest community members.
Yeah.
They're the people who've been there every single day, since the day. Like, oh man, I came in here to troll you that one time, and that one time didn't quite work the way that I wanted it to, so I just gave up, and well, I'm just gonna stick around, I guess.
That's awesome. So there's a good question here that I have to ask you. What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you while you're on stream?
The first or second time around.
Let's go with both. I don't know, whatever. One's better?
So the first time around streaming, I played a game called Payday 2. That and horror games are all I played.
Okay.
So there's no clips, there's no VODs of anything of this, because I made sure they didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
But me and another streamer named Vice M4H, who is very big into Payday. Mm-hmm. He's actually going to be coming back soon, and I can't wait, because he's been a longtime friend of mine. So we were playing Payday, and we decided with Ferret Bomb, if anybody knows Ferret Bomb, that we were going to do a drunken night.
I like where this is going already.
I was drinking Goldschlager and Budweiser.
Oh.
They were drinking a whole bunch of other drinks, and I got fucked up. Not even kidding. So on stream, I'm using my laptop at this point, and I get up out of my chair, and I stand up, and I'm stretching. I'm like, guys, hold on, I gotta go get a cup of water because I've been drinking too much. Instead of actually getting up, I completely flipped backwards over my chair and hit my head on the dresser that was behind my chair.
Why is there not a VOD of this?
I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed that I started crying on stream.
No, not the drunk feels.
I started crying on stream. I turned off my stream. I deleted the VOD. It was before clips were a thing.
Yeah.
I made sure that no one could ever in a million years be able to find that one thing that happened.
That's great. I wish you had it though. That'd be such a good memory. Like looking back at it now, you could just be like, "Yeah, this happened," and people would love it. Love seeing you just fall over.
Also, another reason why Lady KO doesn't like me drinking, and another reason why I refuse to drink on stream, because I know that something more than likely is going to break.
Well, at least you got worked out that way. I'm not allowed to drink in public because Mandy tells me that I have this point where like it's about 3 beers deep where I lose the sensory ability in my muscles. So I don't know how hard I'm doing things, and I've pushed a few people over, just jokingly. So I'm not allowed to get drunk in public.
Oh,
there was a story one night. We were at a bar with my friend. He's a viewer around here. His name's Switchever, and he comes up to give me a hug, and I just like put my hand up to stop him because I didn't know what he was doing, and I literally threw him 3 feet into a bar stool and put him on his ass. So that was the last time I got really drunk in public.
Oh, that's great.
We did. Sorry. Let's get back.
Go ahead.
I got one more question from a guest, and then we're gonna do our random question. So I am not. It's a generator. I have no control over what's about to happen with that. It could be something simple, or it could be the weirdest question you've ever heard in your life. But there was a question. Has there ever been a time that you were afraid your channel might die?
Oh, every single day. That's... Wait a minute. I don't even have to think about that. That's an every single day worry. Yes. As I said before, I'm a very emotional person. I like meeting. I like meeting people. I like getting to know people in general. Every single day, I get a follow, I see them that day, I see them the next day, and they come back. The day that I stop seeing them, I automatically think that I've done something wrong. That's never the case, apparently. It's happened a few times. I know why they've left. We've had serious conversations, we're real community members, people that I spoke to on Discord, people that I've interacted with on a daily basis. I know why they've left. Mm-hmm. And partly it's because of that notion where I constantly am second guessing myself. Mm-hmm. Every day to me is a day where I may not end the day with a stream. And the reason by saying that, I mean, I could from one day have said something so wrong, or I've done something so stupid where it may potentially kill my stream outright. And it's a fear that a lot of streamers have. Mm-hmm. But it's something that I know that I shouldn't have to worry about. It's something that I know I'm never going to fuck up that way. But it's kind of like, I've seen people that are much larger than myself do things that are a lot simpler than what I do. Mm-hmm. And, their streams have died. And, I've been on the Twitch platform since Justin TV. Mm-hmm. My original account was Setix, CETIX. Kaoiji was spawned, I think, in 2012, 2013, mm-hmm. 2 years after I had created the name. And I have seen a lot of crazy shit on Twitch that, from Soda Poppin', from, Man vs. Game, from, Towley, mm-hmm. things that have killed other streamers, but definitely didn't kill them because it's just the normal day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is a worry, and it is something that I fear. And I would hope that never comes to be the case. Which is why I work so hard, and which is why, my emotional, my stress gets to me. Because I'm fighting a battle with myself to get that idea out of my head. Mm-hmm. And I'm also fighting the battle where if one person doesn't show up, I know it's still going to be a good day. For example, if there are days where Pasuri, who's one of my mods, and He's a one chance kind of dude. He met me on Killing Floor 2 on like the one day that I streamed that game ever, and he was like, I'm coming back forever. Became one of my mods, knows how to work my bot better than I do sometimes. And there are days where I'm like, yo, I joked around with him a little bit too hard and he didn't come in that day. The one day he didn't show up, I was like, holy shit, yo, Pos, you okay? Did I do something to offend you? He goes, nah, I'm fine. I'm not feeling well today. I'm like, oh, thank God. I thought I fucked up.
That's good.
But
that's a good one. So I'm glad that you're overcoming that, because I could tell you, don't worry about it. Don't listen to that voice, but it's gonna happen, and it sounds like you're taking the steps to work on it yourself. So man, keep going, keep doing that.
Yeah, I mean, these are things that people are like, oh shit, do you ever feel like your channel's about to die? Yeah. I don't want it to. This has been a dream of mine since I was little.
Yeah.
By little, I mean the creation of YouTube. When YouTube was a thing back in 2005, I said to my mom, I was like, I want to start making YouTube videos. And it was, yeah, but you're never going to be those kinds of people. Those are going to be those are the one shots. They're never going to make it anywhere. They're probably going to die, a year from now. They're not going to be making videos. And a lot of those people I still see today producing content. Like, it's insane. Their channels never died out because for a lot of people, if your channel dies out, it's because you're not working hard enough, and that's, you're not, it's either you're not working hard enough, you're not personal enough, you're not, entertaining enough. There's a various amount of factors that come into it. But, like, I'll use the example, PewDiePie compared to Tazon Day. Tazon Day was bigger than PewDiePie when Tazon Day was coming up. Ultimately, much like some music artist, he did one really, really thing that set the bar, and he never pushed that bar forward. Whereas someone like PewDiePie, and another one of the reasons why I'm using this example, even though he's very controversial right now, is because every day, every single day, that man has an idea. And it is something that may be better than the day before. Obviously, there are times where, you kind of look at PD, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Or you look at Markiplier, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Or even, Cryotic, or Cinnamon Toast Ken, or any of those people that you see, and they are constantly pushing the bar. They are evolving. And that is why people succeed and continue to succeed. It's because they don't stay the same. They don't become complacent. They're like, oh man, but this thing looks so good on my stream, and I think I'm happy with where I'm at. You're gonna be happy with that for about a year, yeah. But in content creation, can you live with that every day of your life? Probably not. Because if you don't follow your ideas, if you don't follow, like the crazy things like from the 70s, and he has a unicorn headband that I think is the most amazing thing in the world, but like those small little ideas that push the envelope in your style of content, not in the genre, not in the industry, but in your style of content, because people want to see you evolve. They don't want to see the industry evolve.
Yeah, they want to see you as the person and streamer go forward.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with video games. If I'm playing a game and I see a series that does not evolve game to game, I don't want to play it.
Yeah. Because it gets stagnant, and then you get bored, and, like if it was TV, you'd change the channel.
Exactly, and that is why it's really awesome to see, people change, and it's Sometimes they change for the better. Sometimes, what that complacentness may not have been what you liked. Because let's say tomorrow I say I'm dipping out of the space station and going to the wild wild west with McCree, and it's about to be high noon. Let's say that becomes the case. Like, a lot of people aren't going to be happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you were the space captain. You had these dope ass blue glasses. Listen here, little lady. I ain't a big deal about that. I don't care. I'm the Korean. I'm a badass dude. You don't. Person A may love it. Person B is gonna be like, "Fuck that shit. I'm out of here." I ain't about that life, because it's also that level of familiarity, that's part of a cast. What can I do to make everybody feel like I'm still me, but I'm still me and I'm evolving at the same time?
Well said, dude. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, my friend. So I'm going to skip the random question. That was a great episode. I think I'm going to try to hit you up and convince you to do another part 2, because we've been having a great conversation. And I just have to go do life things. So thank you for being on the show, KO. Like, really, honestly, this was a great talk. The 50 minutes we've been talking just flew by. Like, I didn't even realize it until just now.
Shit, it really has been.
Yeah,
you're right.
So, is there anything you'd like to say in the last minute or so? Wrap it up while we extra. Just go ahead and talk to the viewers. I'm going to send it out. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to give KO the floor on our way out of here, and then once he wraps up, we're just going to go host up somebody. We're going to go host up Inexpensive Gamer. If you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you guys check out the other episodes of Tennoview. Like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. And I will see you guys on the next episode of Tennoview. KO, send them out.
Guys, have a wonderful night. Thank you all for being here. Make sure you guys follow this man, Goku707. He is an absolute champ. I love his face. He really does mean a lot to both me and to most of the community. And I'll catch you guys later, probably tomorrow during life.
Awesome.
So have a good night, guys.
Thanks for the interview, man. I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much. That was fun.
No problem, man. Thank you. I'll catch you in a little bit, man.
All right, dude.
Take me away from home. Show me all the places I've never known.